Alright, here we are with a little bit of Grand Blue. As you may or may not know, I am on the free version, and essentially, one of the reasons I'm on the free version is because I enjoy uh, the way that it forces you to switch characters every week. Because, I mean, I've already played several characters that I promise you, I straight up never would have even looked in their direction. If I just paid for the game and I was able to access the character I wanted to play. As you can see on my channel, I've already made, several videos using different characters and all of them. And, what I can say is, if I wasn't on the free version, I would literally only be playing Siegfried. And I'm not gonna lie, as a certified Grand Blue hater, the free version has really opened my eyes to how unique a lot of the characters in this game are. Between the ones I've played, I've put time into Seox, Siegfried, Grimnir, and Soares. Those are 4 characters that I put several hours into so far. And yeah, I'm just super impressed with, this game's always a simple game, so I just assumed that the characters wouldn't be that, crazy. And I was wrong, all those characters are extremely unique, and they're fun. And I've been getting back into Street Fighter 6 a lot, so unfortunately I haven't played too much with Soares, but I still enjoyed my time. I will say it's a little frustrating with Soares because he does feel pretty low tier, I'm gonna be honest. Like, maybe I'm wrong, because, I don't keep up with Grand Blue at all. But he feels low tier. I'm sorry to say it, but what I can say is that he has some really disgusting gimmicks, and if you aren't ready for those gimmicks, you will straight up lose the entire match. He will beat you senseless. So even though he's low tier, it doesn't feel that frustrating to play. Again, I don't know if he's low tier. That's just me saying that. He's low mid tier at best, in my opinion. But with that being said, I never felt really frustrated or angry using this character, and it's been pretty much a fun time almost all the time. One thing that I believe I'm doing wrong, I should say this footage was recorded almost a week ago, so it is a little old, but I haven't really played much Grand Blue since then. The one thing that I'm noticing that I probably shouldn't be doing, because I've never seen a Soares player do this, is use that stupid move where he gets armor and he, doesn't flinch. Like, that move right there, that seems kinda useless, but I keep using it because it is super, literally nothing can go through it, so I'm just like, oh, I'll just, I'll take my turn back. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like that move is useless, but I keep using it, and it doesn't really do that much harm, but it's not really doing anything amazing, I would say. So, yeah, interesting move. Very interesting move. What I will say is that this character's ultimate is straight up booty butt garbo. His transformation is horrible. I'm sorry. I can't help but do it every single time because it's so hype, but the fact that it's not an instant startup is absolutely criminal to me. I truly believe that his super should be an instant startup. Why is it, if you do it on wake up, you're just gonna get murdered. Why is that a thing? You have to do it in neutral. Yeah, that's just crazy to me. I don't really understand that. Again, it feels like they're putting limitations on him, and I'm sure this isn't new to Rising, I'm sure this was always a thing, but it feels like they're trying to limit him because they're afraid of making him too good. And because of that, you can't just, you should be able to use his, mid block string, I should be able to pop his transformation while I'm being attacked, safely in a block string, and then continue blocking after. His transformation doesn't really seem that much better, especially considering that there's characters that have installs in this game that are much easier to activate and are much more powerful. So it just seems really weird to me that, like, you have to make space in order to safely use his transformation. And especially considering I'm aware that he becomes faster and his moves become better, but the ultimate that he gets in his transformation is horrible. You can't combo into it. If your opponent leaves the ground, that ultimate takes so long to activate that you cannot combo into the ultimate if your opponent is being juggled. You can only combo into it if they're still on the ground, it seems like. Again, I haven't played too much. I've only played a few hours, but I've done some training mode stuff to see how I can really use that ultimate, because, I mean, the ultimate is so hype. It's such a sick ultimate. But not only do you have to use that transformation to get it, you also have to combo into the ultimate properly. And it just seems like such a hassle to the point where it's better to either just spend meter on his blue moves, you know, whatever, I don't know what to call them, the blue moves, or just spend the ultimate on his default regular super, instead of spending it on transforming and then potentially getting a chance to hit his super ultimate, whatever it's called. Yeah, he just feels like one of them characters where it's like they're putting limitations on him, where there's characters in the game that don't have those limitations, and like it's just weird to me. At least he's super like ignorant to play and he's fun, but again, he doesn't feel better than the characters I've played. He doesn't feel better than Siegfried, he doesn't feel better than Seox, he doesn't feel better than Grimnir. He feels worse than all of them. So that's why I'm saying I think he's low tier, because he just feels low tier. Because I'm gonna be honest, Grimnir did not feel that good. Grimnir felt pretty mid-tier to me, but this guy feels worse than Grimnir. He is easier than Grimnir, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know if I'm waffling, you know. It is an interesting topic. I do enjoy talking about, like, how good a character is when I don't know anything about the game. Like, I'm purely going off of my experience and my experience alone, and I'm not going off of anyone else. And I always find that really enjoyable, you know, when a game is new or when I'm not too familiar with a game. I just like saying how I feel, and I like seeing if, you know, my knowledge of the game is enough for me to decide how good a character is, you know, accurately, without just spitting straight up cap, because, you know, I'm not trying, you know, if someone sees this video and they're interested in Sora's, and I'm essentially scaring them off of Sora's, that's not what I'm trying to do, because in reality, he could be the best character in the game and I wouldn't know. I mean, obviously, Nier is the best character in the game, but, you know, you get what I'm saying. I always really enjoy that. I love making tier lists for games that aren't even out yet, because, number one, I really just love seeing how wrong I end up being. I mean, I did it for the Street Fighter 6 beta, and I couldn't believe... I might make a video on that one day. I just couldn't believe how wrong my Street Fighter 6 beta tier list was. Like, it's just insane. And I love that stuff, you know. And even though this game has been out for years, and, you know, this is a new version of the game, so, you know, people are more familiar with the tier list, I'm not at all, so I just love just saying this stuff, because to me, you know, if I'm right on the mark, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm better at this stuff than I thought. But when I'm super wrong, it's just funny to me. I enjoy, you know, seeing the reasons why I'm wrong, and it essentially could help me see the game or the character in a different way than I was already seeing it. So, you know, that's just a little disclaimer on, you know, whenever I'm chatting about stuff, I normally am just blabbering, but, you know, if it's a game like that I've been playing and familiar with, like Street Fighter 6, you know, I've been playing that long enough to know generally how good every character is. You know, not that tiers matter that much, but I mean, if you play fighting games, you know, no matter how much you love a character, you can feel if that character is top, mid, or low. You can just feel it, you know? That doesn't mean that you're going to be like, oh, I'm done with this character, I'm never playing this character again, because there's people who enter, you know, the highest level tournaments in every fighting game with low tiers, and they always come out, you know, in the top 8. No matter how low tier their character is. You know, but it's just, you always get that feeling when you're playing that character. You're like, this character is low tier, you know, you could feel it. Sometimes that impacts, like, if it's a character I'm not attached to, it'll impact how I feel about the character deeply, you know? So yeah, I always like the tier discussion. That's why, you know, I've barely played this character and I'm already talking about top tier, mid tier, because I enjoy that, you know, and I enjoy comparing him to my experience that I've had already with the game with Siegfried, you know, the other characters I played. And I'm going to take the bold guess and say that he is low tier or he's mid-low tier. So, or low-mid, whatever. Yeah. So, curious if other people want to leave their input on that, you know. That'd be funny to see if I'm wrong or not. Anyways, you know, like, subscribe. I'm going to have some more Street Fighter and Granblue and other stuff, of course. I am planning a Tekken video sometime within the next week. So, yeah, stay tuned for that, and peace.